What is going on YouTube? Welcome back to JD's Nerdverse. We're doing a prediction event today for Kangaskhan, the parent Pokemon with the medium fast level up rate. So that's awesome. If you look at the picture, it's got a little baby in the front. And all Kangaskhan's are female, so just keep that in mind and hope I can remember to pronoun it right. So let's go on to the stats of this normal type monster. So 105 HP, very good. Start the game. 95 attack, 80 defense. Special's not very good, but speed is 90. So all around, these stats are pretty solid except for the special, but there's always things we can do to kind of mitigate that a little bit. But our attack, defense, and speed, all four of those stats are over 80 or higher. That's very good to start the game with. Special not great, but a lot of our moves that we get that are stab anyway are not special, so that's not going to be the biggest deal in the world. So yeah. That's a great stat line. There's a lot of Pokemon that would kill for that kind of stat line, and like I said, we can do stuff to make the special a little bit better. So let's go into the level up move set for this Pokemon. Pokemon has a lot of stab moves via level up. So we start the game with Comet Punch and Rage. So Comet Punch is a stab move, so instead of being 18 base power, it's 27 base power, 85% accurate, 15 power points. So the way Comet Punch works, it'll hit between 2 and 5 times. That's what it'll do. It'll hit between 2 and 5 times. So not too bad because it's stab, but it's not going to be great anyway because the first gym is Brock. Okay, but we also get Rage. Now here's how Rage works. So Rage is a base power of 20, 30 with stab, 100% accurate. So when you click Rage, you basically you're locked in the Rage for the rest of the battle, and it builds as you attack, but also as you receive damage. So that might be our sneaky way of beating Brock without taking forever to do it, is by using Rage on Geodude, accumulating some extra damage points, and then continuing that on to Onix. So that may be the strategy there. I'm not sure. We'll see. But I'm just guesstimating on based on what I know about the moves. So at level 26, we get Bite. We probably won't keep this move. We're going to have plenty of opportunities to get other moves between then and level 26. We're not going to be at high level to beat Brock. We're probably going to be about like 15 or 16 on instead to beat Brock. So Bite may not be useful. Tail Whip won't be useful. Mega Punch won't be useful. Leer won't be useful, and the Dizzy Punch. Now Dizzy Punch it's a move I've never seen before. So I'll just go over the moves. Bite is a 60 base power, 100% accurate move. It actually is stab, so it's 90 base power, 100% accurate move. So it would be great if we didn't have other TMs that we could get. Level 31, we get Tail Whip. Tail Whip lowers opposition's defense. If it was earlier, it'd be very useful. If I had Comet Punch and Tail Whip, it'd be better, but I don't. We get level 31 where it's not useful. So this Pokemon can only be found in Generation 1 in the Safari Zone. So Pokemon in Safari Zone, they're all their stuff skewed to be later level because you weren't expect to get this Pokemon this early. 36, we get Mega Punch. We're not going to get Mega Punch via level up. We're probably going to use Mega Punch, though, via TM, because we have access to it. We can get it pretty early in the game. Right after Brock's Gym, we pretty much get access to it. 80 base power, 85% accurate. So with Stab, it's a 120 base power move. So pretty decent moves via, like, powerful moves. 41, we get Leer. Leer lowers opposition's defense as well. And then Dizzy Punch I don't think in this generation it has the option to confuse the opposition, but in a future generation it does. It's 70 base power, so it's 105 with stab, 100% accurate. Probably won't use anything past like maybe Bite, but I ain't throwing on Mega Punch that late. We can get Mega Punch early and we can replace it with a much better move. If you've seen Pokemon any Generation 1 playthrough, you're going to know exactly what move I'm talking about, and there's other moves as well on top of that. So that's a good transition into our TM moveset, but I want to make it clear that you cannot beat the game with this. You cannot beat the game with this moveset. There's nothing here that hit ghosts, so our TM moveset is our saving grace in that regard. And we can get Mega Punch, Mega Kick. Mega Punch will be useful early, Mega Kick will not, even though it is stab. Body Slam is going to be effective, 85 base power, 100% accuracy. So when we get that, it's going to open us wide up for possibilities with this Pokemon. Takedown, Double Edge. Neither one of them are going to be useful. Maybe Double Edge, but I'd rather just use Body Slam. It's more reliable, and you don't have to deal with recoil. Water Gun and Bubble Beam are going to really help us out because we're normal type. So having access to Water Gun or Bubble Beam It's going to help us mitigate whenever we come across rock-type Pokemon. So that's going to be helpful. Ice Beam and Blizzard as well. Those are fantastic moves to have, and to be able to have them pretty much at about a third of the way through the game. And then part of the mid-game. And then Hyper Beam we can get access to as well. It is Stab, so we may add it. I'm not sure yet. Seismic Toss, Counter, and Submission are 3 fighting-type moves that I don't want to use. And I don't like using. The only one I kind of like using is Seismic Toss, because you know there's a guarantee there. But we're not going to use those. Rage, again, we get it via level up. We don't need it via TM. Thunderbolt and Thunder are very helpful because they can do damage to Flying type, Water type, whatever case may be, and they're super effective. The only downside is kind of like a different Pokemon I played through as recently, Rhydon, and Rhyhorn, is not having a high special really very much nerfs this move and doesn't make it as effective as it can be. Okay, we don't get access to Dig, but somehow we get access to Earthquake. Earthquake is 100 base power, 100% accurate move. We will definitely learn that with this Pokemon. It looks like a Pokemon that should be some semblance of Rock type, honestly, but it's just normal. Mimic will be, Fissure will not be useful. Mimic will probably be useful at some point. Maybe they do the badge boost. Double Team we cannot use. Bide we probably won't use, but we may add it to our moveset early just to have something extra. But we do have 2 damaging moves early, so we may not need that. Fire Blast, don't know why this normal Pokemon can do Fire Blast, but it can. 120 base power, 85% accurate, so most powerful Fire-type move in the game. Skull Bash, it's actually Stab, so it's kind of tempting, but it's just not going to be useful. I'm not going to use it. 100% accurate, 150 with Stab, and 100% accurate. Here's the problem I have with Skull Bash, and they need 2-turn moves. If I do Skull Bash, I'm going to do 150. Let's just say that's the damage output is 150 with Stab. Okay, so I can do that over 2 turns. In 1 turn, I'm susceptible to getting hit, right? However, if I just use like Body Slam over 2 turns, so Body Slam is Stab, it's over 120. It's about 123, I guess. I think. No, it's 40. It's 42 and a half. So it's 128, which is rounded up to 128. And I can do that twice. So now if I do that, I'm up to 250 some damage output, right? And that coincides with attacks, which is even better. There's actually more damage than that. Skull Bash, even though it's Stab, just does not make sense to ever use. And the same thing if I use a non-Stab move. So Skull Bash, we've established over 2 turns is a 150 base power move. It takes 2 turns. Whereas I can do Earthquake and have 2 100 base power turn moves that I've done twice. That's over 200. It just doesn't make sense to do it that way. So Skull Bash to me is kind of pointless. Dig is different because Dig, I've always just used it. If you can have Dig or Earthquake, you pick Earthquake. You just eliminate a lot of factors. So that's just the way I view it. Rock Slide is probably going to be a better move to use than Thunderbolt. Much as Thunderbolt will be very useful. Like I said, our special's not great, but our attack stat's pretty high. So Rock Slide will probably be a better one. I wish it was Stab, but it's not. So Rock Slide will probably be a useful move. 75 base power, 90% accurate. So we will see. We're going to have something to mitigate. We have to have something we can do to mitigate, like flying types and things like that. Substitute, not effective. Not going to use it. Surf, probably not going to use Surf either, even though it's very powerful. And Strength. So looking at this moveset, the moveset's solid. Okay, we're going to have like Body Slam, for sure. We're probably going to have to add Ice Beam late in the game, or Ice Beam or Blizzard, right? Earthquake, and either I'm going to stick with Thunderbolt, or I'm going to go with Rock Slide. So that's one of our 4 end-game moveset. Or I can go with Mimic, and be able to mimic a move and do the badge boost. Not 100% sure yet. It's going to be a very interesting journey to figure that out. A journey of discovery, so to speak. So let's go to the moves. We can only use Kangaskhan in battle. We can use other Pokemon for HMs or to catch Pokemon for HMs. The reason why I have that rule in place is because at some point in the game when I go to catch other Pokemon, I'm usually pretty high leveled, so none of my attacks are going to like leave enough damage left for me to throw a Pokeball. It just knocks them out. That's why I have that rule. Second rule is running clock with 3 exceptions. 1 is attendant search the gym. 2 is when we get to Celadon City, we pause it, and then go buy stuff, sell stuff, get TMs, get HMs, get PP ups, whatever case would be. I can do all that stuff there with the timer pause, so I'm not rushing. I don't accidentally sell the wrong move or buy the wrong thing, and now I'm out of money, and I can't buy the things I really need to make this run more effective. So that's what it's more or less for. And the final one is the Rocket Game Corner. If we need to buy a move from there, we can pause timer, sell a bunch of coins, and get a move. It's just time consuming because in Gen 1 it's only 50 coins you can buy at a time. No glitches or exploits allowed, no single glitch, no Pokédoll glitch, but we are allowed to use badge boost. And that's because if someone leers us, it technically initiates a bad boost, and I can't reset every time I get leered, tail whipped, or anything like that. So, no items in battle except for ethers. And I've gotten loose on that because that more or less compensates for my stupidity and my actions, not so much the Pokemon's inability to win a fight. If I forget to check power points, I'm in a fight, and I have Thunderbolt, and I'm out of actual damaging move. I can't use Thunderbolt. Let's say it's a rock type. I need to use an ether to finish the battle. Also, while you're here, please like, share, subscribe. This is a YouTube channel done by one person. I do all the editing, all the filming, all the voiceover, everything. So, hitting like and following and commenting really shows that you care and you enjoy the content, and for me to keep it going. And then follow me on Twitter and Instagram, JD's Nerdverse and JD's_nerd_verse. Let's go back to the first slide and we'll go ahead and give a prediction. So, I think we'll get by the first gym, not like super fast, but we'll get that by the first gym pretty easily. I think we have a decent strategy we can implement. Everything else in the game, I think we're going to fly through. We don't quite have as good a stats as some other Pokemon I've played through as. However, well, I think we're still going to fly through. We have a lot of stuff for type coverage. We have a lot of stuff that's going to just deal out damage in general with things that are stab and such. So, yeah, that's what I think about Kangaskhan. Now, how long do I think it'll take? I would be very happy if we got this in under an hour and 30 minutes. An hour and 25 would be ambitious. So between an hour and 25 and an hour and 30 minutes. I've seen a bunch of other runs by other YouTubers. They play the game differently than me. But maybe 1 hour and 25, 30 minutes is very conservative. Let's go for an hour and 20 minutes. I think the first part of the game will be the biggest hurdle, but after that, everything will just take off. So that's what I think. Thank you for watching. This is JD's Nerdverse. I'm gonna go over the schedule like I do every Monday. Monday is prediction video. Tuesday is Lord of the Rings Battle for Middle-earth. Wednesday is some kind of either a ranking or a replay or maybe even a challenge video. That'll air on Wednesday. Might actually have multiple videos if it's a replay because you're gonna have a prediction video as well. And you also on Thursday we're playing a game called Shield Wall, and Friday is the playthrough of this Pokemon. So that's it. That's the schedule. That's the schedule I'll try to stick to. I want to thank everyone for watching. This has been JD's Nerdverse. Have a good one, and I'll see you on Friday.